What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm Abe, and this is Stellaris, and we're going to talk about traditions. Now, it dawns on me as I mention this, and as I was starting this video, that without having a bunch of Unity saved up, it's hard to sort of really fully appreciate what all of these things mean, but let's talk about them anyway. As you can see, there are 7 different options, and then this 8th little box here is the Ascension Perks. As you complete all of the as you complete one of the boxes, you open up an Ascension perk. These perks are pretty powerful, and as such, there are a couple things, this being one of them, that incentivizes you to focus on one instead of opening up a bunch of these at the same time. So, if you, the more, let's see, if I open up or adopt this tradition, the expansion tradition, let's say. And then each time that I guess, save up an additional unit or an additional, like in this instance, if I hover over this or look up here, it says the next one will cost 56. It gets more expensive each time. And it also gets more expensive for each tradition you've adopted. So if I just adopt this and I don't complete it, and I go and adopt this, everything is going to be that much more expensive. And because there's like a penalty to being into, well, the more traditions you have adopted, the harder or the more unity it will be required to sort of continue. So generally speaking, it's a good, for that reason and for the reason that you want to unlock Ascension perks as quickly as possible, it's good to focus on one tradition at a time. So early in the game, I usually focus personally on prosperity, discovery, or expansion. Each of those things seem like they have good long-term bonuses to them. So anomaly fail risk and anomaly discovery chance increased by 15%. That's really nice. And adopting all discovery traditions increases the overall research speed by 10%. So the earlier you get those kinds of bonuses, the better they will be long term for your race or for your culture. Expansion, obviously you're going to be doing a lot more expanding early on, so these bonuses will be helpful. Prosperity, it reduces the costs of building things. And regardless, there's a bonus to finishing each of these traditions as well, and so maybe identifying, this can be also a reactionary thing, just as an aside. So if you're finding that one of your enemies or your neighbors is encroaching on your space, and I don't know, if you want to make sure that your relationships with them are positive, then you may want to focus, like quickly grab something out of diplomacy, which will increase your influence or reduce your influence cost and increase your trust growth with them. Or maybe you want to interact with them in a certain way, or you need more star bases really quickly, then maybe you just want to adopt one of these quick and leave it alone while you continue to finish something else. But yeah, so generally you want to pick one, focus on that, finish it, unlock the Ascension perk, and then pick the next one. Consider where you are in the game as far as like early or late, and that'll help dictate kind of what your choices are and what's most important to you. So, you know, later in the game, maybe harmony is more of interest to you because you want your people to be happier. But that said, if you get additional growth speed very early in the game, that's pretty helpful, right? Because you're going to be building a whole lot of populations, and the faster they grow, the more resources you're going to get, and so on and so forth. So yeah, so this is traditions. We can go through each one of these, but they're pretty self-explanatory if you just hover over them. So new colonies start with 1 additional population. A courier network, it's the effect on increased tradition cost caused by the number of colonies is reduced by 20%. So this tells you pretty clearly that the cost of each tradition is increased depending on how many populations you have and the number of colonies that you've got. So anyway, yeah, you can hover over each of these, see what the bonuses are. They're all pretty good for the most part. And determine what's most important to you. So that's it for traditions. There's a lot more. Like, if you have specific questions about specific traditions, please hit me up in the comments. I'd love to answer them and know kind of where your head's at. But you can find me and support me over on Twitch at Vinsis, and I work full time, and I am not a full time streamer, so I'm not over there very often. But when I am, I'm open to suggestions on what you would like to see, and we can play this game or EVE Online or anything else that I'm into these days. And you can catch me on YouTube at Vinsis Gaming. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy Stellaris, and I will see you in the next video.